Okay, YouTube, how is it going? I'm back here after watching WrestleMania both nights. It was crazy ride, and I'm gonna go through each match here and talk you guys through what happened and what my thoughts were on them. I don't really want to give my thoughts too much, but, well, actually that's a lie. I am gonna give my thoughts on the matches, because I do have fairly strong opinions, as I'm sure you guys do as well. So the night started off as this showcase here that I'm doing indicates with John Cena versus Austin Theory. And the match itself was, I mean, it was decent. I think it was everything that everybody thought it was going to be, which is, you know, nothing crazy. Just John Cena trying not to get injured, basically, and you know, he looked a little bit slower than he did the last time that he had a match, but that's to be expected. He's aging. And overall, the match was just kind of a nothing match, but it's good to see that Theory went over. And the match was fine. I mean, you know, we see John Cena in the ring again, which is always nice to see. And we see that Austin Theory can hang with the big boys. You know, that really was the point of this match, and it delivered. So I agree with the decisions that were made in this match, and it was nice seeing John back in a ring again, to be quite frank. But I will say it was a little bit weird seeing Theory tap out to John. Like when the ref took the bump and then Cena locked in the STF, Austin Theory tapped out, which was a little bit strange, but it didn't diminish from the match at all. So I'm still gonna give this match, you know, like a B rating, so like three and a half stars. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't Cena's best performance, obviously. It wasn't Theory's best performance, but they had decent chemistry, and the match was just that. It was fine, you know. Okay, the next match was the men's showcase match. It was a 5-way tag team match. It was the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet. This match was surprisingly entertaining. You know, I know there's good workers in this match, so, you know, I was hoping for a good match, all things considered, and I got a really entertaining match. You know, it didn't really have any impacts, really. I mean, maybe these guys will go on to face the winners of the men's tag team titles, who I will not give away right now, but I'm sure you guys know. And maybe they won't, but, you know, all in all, this match was very fun, entertaining. There were some great spots that you love to see, and ultimately the Street Profits end up getting the win, which I do think was the right decision, because they're really entertaining, man. And I think they should get a push for the titles, you know? Or either that, or Montez should go on to be a single star, because I think everyone wants to see that, because he has so much potential, and he's so great. Notable spots in this match, let's see. The Tower of Doom, one of the best Towers of Doom we've seen recently, and I think it's time now to retire the spot for a little bit, you know, so that when it comes back it actually means something, because it's in every big match, or with that contains, you know, multiple people. So I think it's time. You know, it was really good. It was actually a tower this time. Ricochet comes off the top and puts Montez, I think, down. It was a really good spot. Then, you know, Chad Gable, oh my god, Chad Gable does a German suplex, a rolling German, what is it called? I don't remember what it's called, but he does a German suplex to Braun Strowman? I mean, that's one of the most impressive feats of strength we've seen recently, to be honest. It was insane, dude. I was blown away. This match, honestly, I liked it more than John Cena Austin Theory. I'd give it 3.5 to 4 stars. You know, B+ match in there. Great match. The right people won, in my opinion. And yeah, that does it for that match. Let's get on to match number 3. Alright, match 3 of night number 1 was Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. This match, I think, maybe it's because I'm not so high on Logan, and no, it's not me saying, oh, I want him out of the business. I think he's an amazing wrestler. I do. I think he's a great wrestler. I think he's picked it up incredibly well, and I'm very impressed by him. And again, he puts on another impressive performance. Okay, so don't think I'm just, you know, being mean because I don't like Logan, because I think he was good, and I think Seth was good as always. Seth is always good. But this match for me, I guess I just didn't really like their feud leading up to it, maybe. and that's why I don't really like the match. But I found it weird that KSI was there, and then that he wanted to talk to Bobby Lashley. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the beginning. The entrances were cool. I thought it was super cool that Rollins had a conductor to begin his theme, because everybody loved Rollins' theme. That was a good moment. And then Logan ziplining in felt very Logan Paul, so I'm not complaining about that either. That was the good entrances, but they took, you know, a substantial amount of time, if we're being honest. But that's okay, you know, it's WrestleMania. Put on a big performance. I'm totally okay with that. Then the match itself, it was cool. It was fine. Logan had some decent spots, some big moves. His slingshot lariat that he does, or buckshot lariat, or whatever you want to call it, looked better, in my opinion, than it has in the past, and I'm happy about that. And obviously a lot of people are going to talk about the KSI spot where Logan puts him through the table accidentally because KSI is dressed up as Prime for some reason. I mean, I didn't really care for it much, but, you know, a good way to get KSI in the business, although I don't really see the point in it, to be honest. You know, KSI, to me, doesn't really fit the WWE mold. I don't think that he's, you know, really going to care about it. I don't think he's going to put in a lot of work, but, you know, KSI does, you know, when he wants to do something, he puts in the work, man. You see it with boxing. Like, everybody thought that he wouldn't be good at it and stuff. He put in the work, and he's a good boxer. So if KSI puts in the work, I think it's okay, but I thought it was just really weird and kind of childish and strange that, you know, they had him being Prime. But at the end of the day, I'm not complaining about it too much. I thought it was an okay match. I'd probably give it 3 stars. I know it sounds like I'm kind of ratting on... Oh, also, Seth Rollins won, which I was happy about, but we know that Logan's contract is now up. So is Logan going to return? Or is he done with WWE? Or, you know, are they going to negotiate his contract? Or are they not? That is something that we have to keep our eyes on for the future. But, you know, if Logan isn't returning, I think it's the right call to have Seth win. Because I want Seth to, you know, I love Seth. I think he's kind of underappreciated for how much he works, and, you know, he's a massive worker for WWE, so I'm happy he won. Give the match 3 stars. It was fine for what it was, but I wasn't a really big fan of the feud. Alright, next we had Lita, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus against Damage Control. In my opinion... Wait, what else happened on night 1? I don't want to be too brash. Let me look what else happened on night 1 real quick. Yeah, in my opinion, this was the worst match. And I know some of you guys might get on me for that. Oh, unless you count McAfee versus The Miz. But that was just whatever, you know, and McAfee did some cool stuff. It was whatever, that match. I'm not even sure I'm going to talk about it, to be honest. This match... I mean, I'm just so tired of this feud, guys. I need Becky Lynch and Bayley to not be feuding anymore, or at least not like this, because it's just so boring now. It's so boring, and so it was a decent way to end the match. Honestly, I didn't even watch all of it. That's how I got so bored. I didn't even watch all of it. I walked away and took a break, you know? You know how it's a 4-hour show, and sometimes you just need to take a little bit of a break, and so that's what I did. So, you know, I didn't watch it all, so don't get too mad at me, but, you know, I was actually quite impressed with Trish Stratus. She still takes bumps quite well. I thought she looked cleaner than Lita did. I think Lita looked a little hesitant, but, you know, it's to be expected. I mean, I don't know how old she is, but she's been out of the rings for quite a while, so I'm not surprised that, you know, they aren't totally ring practiced. So I thought it was fine. You know, do I think I don't really care about these titles, to be quite honest. The titles weren't even on the line, so I don't know why I'm saying that, but I just think Lita and Becky need to get rid of the titles soon. Maybe it'll be tonight where I'm filming this. I'm filming this on Monday because, you know, gotta think with the results, all this stuff, right? So maybe they'll relinquish the titles tonight. I have no idea, but I don't really care about this match much. 2.5 stars. It wasn't anything great. Bayley and Becky looked good, but they always look good. You know, they're pros. So they look good as always. And Lita and Trish, they were fine. It was what I expected. I didn't expect them to be back in their heyday or anything like that. Io Sky had a kind of a cool spot, a moonsault spot to the outside. You know, she kind of does that every time, but it's still cool. So yeah, it was a fine match. Again, going off the top of my head, it's hard to remember everything that happened in the match. You know, oh, Becky. Oh, yeah, I should say who wins. I don't know why I keep forgetting to do that. But Becky picks up the win, pinning, I think, Bailey. So that's fine. I'd probably give this match 2.5 stars. It was cool to see Lita and Trish back in the ring again. Their performances were a little lackluster, but to be expected, and Damage Control did their thing. Don't really care about the winners. Don't really care about the losers. It was just fun. It was just a little fun match, you know. Alright, next up was Rey versus Dominic, and honestly, one of the matches that I was anticipating most, which might be quite surprising, but I thought the feud was kind of built up well. You know, only the second father versus son match in the history of WrestleMania. So, you know, that's cool, making history, these two. And I thought it was a good match. You know, obviously they have decent chemistry together. And I'm not sure. I'd love to like talk to them and wonder how they felt about, you know, having a match together and like basically beating each other up. But I know they don't see it that way. It's like a performance, but I still think the match was great. There were some pretty funny moments in this match, pretty cool moments as well. Rey showing that he still got it at a super high level, even though I thought, to be honest, what I thought was going to happen was that Rey was going to be retiring after this match and he was going to lose the match. Turns out he might not be retiring, so that's pretty cool, because Rey is the reason why I like or that I got into wrestling in the first place. So to see him, you know, wrestling his son at WrestleMania was super cool. So some funny moments in the match. I loved when Rey took his belt off and started spanking Dominic. That was funny. That was really hilarious, actually. And then, oh yeah, so Dominic throws a water at his sister's face. And then Rey gets involved, and then Dominic takes over the match more. And then also, I'm pretty sure this happened, right? I'm not making this up, I don't think. Dominic's mom, I forget her name, but Rey's wife slaps Dominic in the face, and then Rey takes advantage of that. And so, or was that on the SmackDown leading up? I don't know. They were so similar. But either way, I think it was good storytelling by the two, and they had a good match. Nasty collision though. Rey went for a Hurricane Rana, and Dominic like used his momentum and threw him back into the bottom turnbuckle. That was really nasty. But Rey takes a big bump, which I'm kind of surprised by, but you know Rey, man. He does everything he can to make a good match, right? So this was a good match. It was good storytelling. At the end of the day, Rey gets the win after Bad Bunny takes, what is it, a chair? Did he take a chair from Dom? Wait, let me check this real quick. Yeah, so Bad Bunny was at ringside for this match on the Spanish announce table, which was a cool little touch. And he took the chair from Dom that he was going to use once the Judgment Day showed up for some reason and made a distraction. Oh, I know why the Judgment Day showed up. See, guys, this is what happens when you try to do this live. The Judgment Day showed up because, Legado del Fantasma wanted to be there to help Rey out, and so they cleared out the Judgment Day for Rey, allowing Rey to pick up the win after Bad Bunny took the chair from Dominic, who tried to use it on Rey. Bad Bunny took it, Rey hit the 619, pinned him, wins. You know what else I'm forgetting about, guys? The entrances to this match. I loved the entrances to this match, you know? It's something that we don't talk about too much because normally people just come out normal. But at WrestleMania, man, everything's bigger, everything's better. And Rey and Dominic did it right, dude. Dom came out like a prisoner, you know, surrounded by cops, walks to the ring slowly. The montage before that tried to make Dominic look all menacing and stuff was super funny. And then Rey comes in a low ride with Snoop, honoring Eddie Guerrero. You know, it was really good. It was really good. Good entrances for a good match. 3.5 stars for me, B+ rating. It was good. Nothing insane happened. I wasn't surprised by the win. I'm not happy or sad by the win. It was just good all around. See, I don't really have super strong opinions with this because mostly I agree with the results from this ooh, DDT right there. Mostly because I agree with the results from Night 1 WrestleMania. Night 2 is when we'll get a little more contentious. But again, I don't have massive opinions. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff, guys. I'm just a guy who likes to watch wrestling, you know? So, the match was good. The spots were good. And, all in all, it was a good match. 3.5 stars for me. So yeah, let's get on to the next one. Alright, match number 6 on the card was, my favorite match of the entire night. And I think it was most people's favorite match because these two blew the house down, dude. They really did. I was a bit worried because of Charlotte's match against Shotzi like 2 weeks ago, because that match was awful. And then I was a bit worried at the start of this match too, because it looked like they didn't have great chemistry in the ring together. But boy, did they turn that around, and you know, this match was phenomenal. It really was. It was an amazing match. And I'm very, very happy that Rhea got the win, and she's now a Grand Slam champion at 26 years old. I mean, dude, Rhea really is the next big thing. And they showed this really cool like video package of Australia going nuts when she won, and that was super cool because you know, obviously probably the most successful. See, I don't want to say this because I don't know my wrestling history that well, but I would wager a guess that she's the most successful Australian-born WWE superstar, right? She's got to be. She's got to, at least she's got to be up there. Grand Slam champ? Like, doesn't get much better than that. So really, really good match. I mean, these two slugged it out. Rhea hit a nasty German suplex on Charlotte. Like, she over-rotated. Charlotte over-rotated the suplex, or Rhea threw her a bit too hard, and Charlotte literally landed on her face. Like, her face hit the mat first. So that was insane. What else happened? It looked like the submission holds didn't really, like, Charlotte didn't put in her figure 8 submission hold. I don't think, at least, unless I'm going crazy. But yeah, man, this match was good. It was a very, very good match. Oh, also, I'm forgetting this crazy spot that happened. So, you know, this was a pretty powerhouse matchup. Two really strong competitors going at each other, and Ripley hit a, like, crazy top rope German suplex as well, where Charlotte lands not on her back like most German suplexes, but over rotates and lands on her, like, takes a face bump, or front bump, or whatever it's called, front face bump, whatever it is. And that was a nasty spot too. That one wasn't as brutal because, you know, it looked like she landed okay, like she landed like she was supposed to. But it was a crazy spot, and then Rhea Ripley gets the much deserved win when she hits Riptide from the second rope. I mean, you know, basically an avalanche style Riptide. It was pretty nice to get the win. I'm very, very happy with this match. You know, I think I'd give it 4 stars. My first 4-star match. Or did I put? Yeah, this is my first 4-star match. You know, good match. Great match. My favorite match of the whole night. Actually, we'll say 4.5-star match. My favorite match of the whole night. 4.5 stars. It's well deserved for Rhea. Grand Slam champ. Australia went crazy. Nothing else to say about it. All right, and then before we get to the final match of the evening here, which was the Usos versus Sami and Kevin, I'm just gonna briefly talk about Miz versus Pat McAfee, which was an impromptu match thrown up there by Snoop Dogg, those were the two hosts of WrestleMania. It was a fun match. It was silly. It was, you know, it wasn't a real match or anything like that. You know, Pat McAfee did the backflip off the top rope. Pat McAfee gets the win ultimately. It was a good match. You know, nothing to say about it really. But now we're gonna move on here to the main event, which was super cool. That I think it's the first time ever that the tag team a tag team match is the main event of a WrestleMania. And it's a much deserved main event because the story that these guys have put on, I mean, Jay and Sammy specifically, has been nothing short of incredible. I mean, they really threw their heart out there. It was a crazy match. Well, I thought the Usos were going to win at some point. Like, I genuinely did think they were going to win. When they hit the 1D, nobody's ever kicked out of the 1D. Michael Cole said that, so I'm going to take his word for it because WWE love their statistics. Sammy kicks out of the 1D. I mean, it was, and then the ending where Sammy hits 3 haluva kicks on Jay, I believe, to get the win. I mean, it's perfect. It's fairy tale ending at its finest, and I'm here for it, man. I thought it was a great match. I'd give the match A-, 4 stars, whatever you want to call it. The match was incredible. I mean, you know, the Usos really are, in my opinion, the best tag team WWE has. And I don't want to say in the world because, again, I don't watch much other wrestling, which, you know, some people don't like. Some people think, you know, I should be an expert on everything. Or, you know, some people just think that if you're doing this on YouTube, you should know the other stuff in the world, which is fair. It's a fair criticism. But for me, you know, I don't have all the time in the world. So, in my opinion, the Usos are the best tag team in WWE. I don't think that's very disputable at all. I mean, they have incredible chemistry, obviously. And Sammy and Kevin being best friends, I mean, this story just culminates perfectly after Elimination Chamber and the Bloodline story and all that stuff that happened. And it finishes off with Sammy hitting the haluva kick on Jay to get the dub. And I thought it was perfect, to be honest. I thought it was time. It was time for the Bloodline to falter a little bit here. And it does lead into Night 2's main event as well a little bit, which I wasn't a big fan of, but like when the Usos and Sammy and Kevin came out into that match, I wasn't a big fan of that. But we'll talk about more of that a bit later in this video because there's so much to talk about Night 2. And I thought let me just say my quick final thoughts about Night 1 as a whole is I thought Night 1 was better than Night 2. I've had more fun watching it. It was more enjoyable to me. But that being said, Night 2 had some great matches as well. Both of these nights were really incredible, you know. They both really put on a show. WWE proving that they don't need an overwhelming amount of legends to support their show. You know, they don't need The Rock to come out at WrestleMania. They have talent. They have talent from WWE that can do that stuff, and that's really, really cool to see that they don't need to rely on all these people. They have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens against the Usos as the main event, a tag team match, which is a really big goal and something that I'm really happy about that happened. And these guys kicked, you know, they performed incredibly. The outcome of the match, I'm totally cool with. And, yeah, all in all, very impressed by night number 1. All right, here we go. Starting off night number 2 at WrestleMania. It's Brock Lesnar versus Omos. And basically, it's exactly what you thought it would be. Omos dominates the start. This could be a super short recap, this one, because this match was pretty short. Omos dominates at the start. He throws Lesnar around, which, you know, some people were surprised about, but he's 7 feet tall, you know, he's not a small guy. So he throws Brock around effortlessly. Jeez, man. Power slams him onto the mat, you know. Hits him with a choke slam. Brock kicks out. And then Brock turns the tables, takes him to Suplex City, which was kind of cool. Seeing Brock, I mean, not surprising, but seeing Brock lift however many pounds, 400-pound, near 400-pound man, suplex him. You know, he's done it before, but cool stuff there. And all in all, this match was, it was fine. You know, it wasn't anything special. I'm happy Brock got the win. It was an okay match. You know, it's a B. It's 3 stars. It's nothing special. It's totally fine as it is. And I'm happy that Brock got the win in a relatively short squash type match. But Omos, in his defense, this is Omos's best performance in my opinion. he needs to just rely on his size because he's a big boy, and don't try to do too much. You know, you don't need to. You're massive. Like you know, hits Brock with a choke slam, hits him with a few power slams, throws him around. It's perfect. It's perfect way to show your dominant force. You know, you don't have to do more. You just have to be big, right? And so that's what he does, and it works to perfection. And then Brock does what he does, and you know, kind of puts like gives almost a. Brock is one of the best sellers in WWE, so working with him, you're gonna look good. You know, Brock makes Omos look good. Omos makes himself look good as well, because I think he actually put on a great performance. Brock hits through suplexes, then hits the F5, and then he's out of there. Makes Omos look a little bit weak because he's a 7-pounder. It's conceivable that he could have kicked out of an F5. But you know, did I say he's a 7-pounder? I meant he's 7 feet tall, or at least he's close to it. So you know, I would have been fine if he kicked out of an F5 and then Brock hits him with another one and that's it. But no, the match ends just like how this one is. This could be great timing. The match ends with an F5. Omos doesn't kick out, though he probably will because we're on Legend difficulty. Yes, he does. And Brock wins. It's a 3-star match. It's a B, whatever you want to call it. It was a good match. All right, match number 2. I haven't picked the winner. This is the first time I haven't chosen to be the winner, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm upset. I'm very upset that Ronda won in the fashion she did. I wouldn't have cared if Ronda won. And Ronda and Shayna. So let me just say who's in this match first of all. It's Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's who's in the match. The match itself, I know people are going to compare it to the men's showcase match because this is the women's showcase match, so it makes sense to compare it to them. The men's showcase match was just had more. It was just more electric. It was more entertaining. It just had better spots. It had better moments. I don't know what to call it. However, I put the two people who I think or the two teams I think who showed off the most, and in a good way, not like who showed off, they shouldn't have been there, like in a good way, they showed out. You know, Natalya had a super cool spot, which, you know, I'm Canadian. I don't know if you guys know I'm Canadian, and so I, you know, have a bit of a soft spot for Natalya. I mean, she's a workhorse. She doesn't get enough recognition in the business. And she does her thing, you know, but she had a double sharpshooter against Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, which was pretty cool. And that got a massive pop from the crowd also. And so that's who I think was probably the best performer, or one of the best performers, one of the best teams, I should say, because Shotzi had some decent moments as well, which was I was kind of surprised about, because again, I'm going to bring up the match against Charlotte Flair that she had. Because why wouldn't I, you know? It makes sense to. And then again, Raquel Rodriguez just asserting her dominance, you know, proving that she's a good powerhouse. And I'm not sure where she's going to go from here. I'm not sure where Liv and her are going to go in particular. But Liv, again, also did her thing, you know. Got powerbombed to the outside onto other people by Raquel, which I thought was pretty cool. And Liv is just, she's just crazy, dude. She's just pretty crazy, which is fine. But yeah, and then Shayna gets hurt, so I'm not gonna ragdoll Shayna or anything like that. But I just think that the way that they won was wrong. You know, like Ronda comes in after basically being a non-factor, not doing anything of substantiality. She comes in here and she just finds herself in the position to where she can put the armbar on Shotzi. She just saunters over like the heel she is, takes Shotzi. So C match, 2-star match for me. I wasn't a big fan of it. I just got an achievement. What? Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it at all, to be honest. Some cool moments, but it's a 2-star match for me. All right. So the next match up was Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre for the IC title. Man, this was a fantastic match. My favorite match of the whole weekend. Night 1 and night 2 included. This was my favorite match. And it was because these guys went at each other, man. I mean, it just proves that this style of wrestling works in WWE. You know, I think a lot of people want that flashy, you know, flippy stuff from, you know, some other promotions and some... Those are cool spots. Don't get me wrong. I love them. I love watching Ricochet do his thing. I love watching Mysterio do his thing. But there's something about just 3 big boys just getting into a brawl that you just can't refuse, man. And these guys went at each other, bro. I mean, you know, early on, you know, a slow beginning, but not really, because Drew McIntyre just plows Gunther with a Claymore kick. You know, to get Gunther out of the match. And then him and Drew and Sheamus there go at each other. And dude, this match was just nuts. And then, you know, there was this one crazy spot where Sheamus did the beats of the Bodhrán, and then they coupled that with Drew McIntyre hitting chops on Gunther. I mean, Gunther was black and blue. Sheamus was completely red from all the chops that Gunther was giving him. Like, this match was just brutal in a great way. In the best way possible, this match was brutal. And then, I thought Sheamus was about to win. Sheamus hits I think he hit the Brogue Kick followed by the Celtic Cross on Gunther, and he kicked out. And I was like, no way, dude. I was going nuts. I was going absolutely crazy. They really had me on some of these false finishes. Then Drew hit Sheamus with a Claymore, and that didn't work either. I mean, yeah, this match was just fantastic. A lot of false finishes, a lot of great moments, and you know, when we're going into this match, I thought Sheamus was going to win. I thought they were going to do the feel-good story. I thought this WrestleMania, basically the theme of this WrestleMania was going to be the feel-good story. I thought Cody was going to win. I thought Sheamus was going to win. And I thought that Sami and Kevin were going to win. And only one out of those 3 ended up happening. And you might think that I'm a bit upset about that, because, you know, I'm an emotional WWE fan. And to an extent I am. I'd love to see Sheamus win his Grand Slam championship. Or win the Grand Slam, you know? Have all the titles. The only title that's eluded him, the IC title. Have it. You know? And I'd love to see that, and I would. But I don't think this is the wrong decision. I just think there was a better feel-good decision. But best for business? You know, Triple H loves the best for business model. Maybe this is best for business. I'm not a businessman. I don't know what the heck's going on in WWE and creative and stuff like that. And so I understand the decision to keep Gunther. You know, I don't think he's lost since he's been on the main roster. He's held the IC title for 200 and something days. Longer than anybody else in the modern era. I know that for sure. And so I'm not upset by the decision at all. And I think this match is way, way too good of a match to be upset by it. You know, like you can't be mad at this match because they beat the hell out of each other, these two. I mean, it was just absolutely insane what they did to each other. And I was here for it, man. I was jumping up and down. I was excited. I was having a great time just watching this match. And you know, ultimately Gunther gets the win in what I'm tempted to have as a 5-star match. You know, I don't know if it is. It's 4.5 at least. Bare minimum, it's 4.5. It's an A+ match. 4.5 to 5 stars. If you want to say 4.75, that's fine. If you want to say 5, I don't blame you. I'd probably give this match 5. If we're being straight up. I thought this match was great. I thought it was insane. They beat the heck out of each other. And ultimately, whether you think the right person came away with the win or not, you can't deny the effect that this match has on the rest of the show. My favorite match of the week, as I said, and boy am I happy it was here, because night 2 needed a match like this desperately. Ultimately, Gunther power bombs Sheamus onto Drew, and then power bombs Drew to pin him for the win. And I think it was probably the right call. As much as my WWE fanboy brain wanted Sheamus to win, I'm not upset by the outcome, and I don't think it was a bad decision. So that was that match. 5-star match from me. Incredible match. Gunther retains his title. And yeah, now it's time for... What is the next match? I don't know. You guys are going to find out, I guess, after this. Alright, match number 4 of the second night of WrestleMania was Bianca against Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. And this match was great. Alright, this match, it was a little bit below Rhea versus Charlotte, which I don't think is very controversial to say. But it was a fantastic match. Okay, these guys have great chemistry, and it kind of looked like they were trying to, like, how do I say this? Like they were, like they thought that they were like the afterthought of the matches, of the women's championship matches, and they put on a good show. Okay, like they were trying to prove something, is what I'm trying to say, you know. And I think they did. I think they did show that they have good chemistry together, and that, you know, they're willing to put on big spots, because Bianca just straight up power bombed Asuka in like a ferocious one too, not just like she like drops her, like a full sit out power bomb on the outside of the outside the ring on the ground. And the crowd went crazy for that. This match, it was good. It was really good, but personally, I think the wrong person won the match. I would have preferred to see Asuka win the match. And I think Bianca's title reign, she's ran through everyone. You know, I think WWE is falling into this trap where they want everybody to be dominant. You know, they want all their champions to be absolutely dominant. And you see it, man. You see these people are getting super long title reigns, and I don't think that it's wrong all the time. But I think if everybody has a long title reign, I think, you know, it's hard to have somebody go over, because when you have somebody who's an actual threat to the title, like, it's hard to recapitulate that, and like a genuine threat too, like not somebody who you know, who WWE's manufacturing to be like the guy, you know, and the crowd doesn't really feel it. But like when the crowd actually gets behind the person, it's hard to deny them of the spot, you know. And not that I think that Asuka and Bianca had a good rivalry, because I think it lacked substance, you know. But I think that it was time for a change, and I think WWE did have a change when, you know, when Charlotte lost and Rhea won, and they had a change with the Usos and stuff like that. But this match, you know, I'm getting away from the point. This match was really good. There was a Grand Slam onto the top turnbuckle, and the match ended with Bianca showing her power, you know, basically squatting upwards after she was rolled through an armbar, hitting the KOD for the win. It was a really good match. I'm going to give it 4 stars, A- if you want to do a grade. I'd give it 4 stars. Fantastic match. I just think the wrong person won. You know, and that's kind of like my gripe with WrestleMania 2. Not that I'm right all the time either. This is not me saying like, oh, I should have booked this. No, because at the end of the day, I don't know wrestling that well. I don't know WWE. You know, I'm not in the business, so I don't know how the business works. I don't know how the fans are going to react. Nobody does until they react. And so, I think it was the wrong choice? Yeah. I think Bianca needs a change. I don't think she needs to go heel, but I think putting her on the SmackDown side of things would give her more matchups, give her some nicer opportunities, I think. to go with Bianca and Rhea to have a rematch. You know, like I just think there's other things you could do with Bianca. But again, I love Bianca, and I think she's a fantastic champion, and so I'm excited to see where the story goes from here. But I just think it was the wrong call in this instance. But that's okay, man. I'm not the creative, and nor do I you know, pretend to know more than creative. So, in my opinion, though, which is why you guys came here for my opinion on the night, it was the wrong decision, but it was a great match, and they put on an amazing match. So I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's an A, or wait, did I say A minus? Yeah, A minus or 4 stars, whatever you prefer. It was a really good match. They showed that they're incredible wrestlers and they have really good chemistry together, and it was a match I loved watching. Alright, the next segment was so strange. So Miz and Snoop come out and they do their thing as the hosts of WrestleMania, right? They come out, hey, how's it going, guys? They announced the crazy numbers that they did. It's like 161,000 people or something in attendance. Insane numbers. And like over both nights, not like just one night. It was like 80,000 both nights. And so they come out and Snoop Dogg goes, hey Miz, you know, last night you had that match against Pat McAfee, but tonight you're gonna have another impromptu match, this time against Shane McMahon. Okay, and Shane McMahon comes out, and the crowd low-key pops for this. Like they're sort of happy to see him, which I was a little surprised by, not gonna lie. Because who wants to see Miz versus Shane again? You know, it's... Anyways, and so this is a super small match, so I'm not going to give it too much, but Shane cuts a little promo, and then he ends up tearing his quad 30 seconds into the match, maybe. Like, he leapfrogs over the Miz, and he lands awkwardly on his leg, and straight up tears his quad. Like, gone. And I don't want to laugh at him, because I feel bad for him, man. I never want to see somebody get hurt or injured. But that being said, this was a blessing in disguise, because Snoop handles this like an absolute pro. Man comes out, he goes, you okay, cuh? And then he proceeds to clock the Miz. He says WrestleMania isn't gonna go out like that. He clocks Miz straight up right in the mouth. Clocks him. And it's incredible improvisation by Snoop Dogg and Miz, because Miz is one of those guys who he always does the right thing. He always does what's gonna be the best experience for the fans. And in this moment, the right experience was to let Snoop Dogg not pull any of his punches, by the way, just straight up punch Miz in the mouth, and then hit a people's elbow on the Miz. And we get Snoop Dogg winning a match at WrestleMania. And to be honest, I think it's a bit of a blessing in disguise for WWE, because I think Snoop Dogg winning the match is way better than anything that Shane McMahon and The Miz could have put on. You know, because this way at least WWE, they get you talking about the match. If it was just Shane versus Miz, it would have been, oh yeah, did you see Shane versus Miz again? Nobody wants to see that, you know? But if it's Snoop Dogg versus Miz and Snoop Dogg saving the day, then it's, bro, did you see Snoop Dogg just punch Miz right in the mouth? You know, so I think at the end of the day, this was a good improvisation and great professionalism on both sides. And you love to see it, but I do really hope that Shane is okay and it's not a serious injury. But I guess time will tell, and I'm sure they'll update us soon. Okay, the next match on the card was, I mean, insane. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It was the Demon, Finn Balor, versus the Brood version of Edge. Okay, and these two went to war. Finally, a good use out of a stipulation match, if we're being honest. And now, I don't know how to rate this match, because at the end of the day, it was a really good match, really good showing. But I was so damn tired of this feud, dude. Like, it was probably my least... Like, I knew it was going to be a good match because they're incredible performers, you know? So I knew the match was going to bang. But I was not anticipating it at all because I was so tired of it, you know? But either way, let's talk about the match a little bit. So they go at each other. They you know, they hit each other with their best shots. The match, there's no feeling out process. They just go for each other, you know? They get kendo sticks, they get chairs, just smacking each other up, okay? Then Edge puts a table on the like corner of the Hell in a Cell, and Finn Balor drop kicks Edge through the table. All right, so there's like one crazy spot, and then the crowd goes crazy because a little bit goes by, and then Edge pulls out a ladder, and everyone knows Edge and ladder is like, it's gold, you know? And so Edge sets up a ladder, but before he sets up a ladder, he just throws the ladder straight at Finn, and Finn gets hit straight in the face, and he has a big gash right on the top of his head. And so this stalls the match, and the crowd hates it, dude. And they're not happy, man. And so, but you know, WWE has to tend to the wound because it's like a straight up like gash, man. It looks like he's been like I don't know, sawed open or something, dude. And so they have to tend to it. So the doctor comes out, and the ref goes over. And meanwhile, Edge is trying to save this thing, so he starts pulling out weapons and like distracting from the fact that apparently, and I haven't looked this up, but I watched a video, and apparently Finn had to get a numbing agent and then stapled shut. So if that's true, and I don't know if it is, but if that's true, if Finn got stapled shut, man, I mean, just goes to show that he is like the toughest guy in WWE. Because I don't know of many people that can just get their head stapled and then continue to perform at a level that he did. So I have so much respect for Finn Balor putting his you know, body on the line. Hopefully it's not incredibly serious and it's not like a bad concussion or anything. Hopefully it's just like a, I'm not gonna say this, but hopefully it's just like a wound. And obviously that's bad. Having a wound straight through your head is bad. But then he gets up, right, from getting like broken open, and he sets up a table, and he puts Edge on the table, and then he jumps. You see where I'm going over here? I'm Edge, by the way. You see the like middle part of the Hell in a Cell? He jumps onto that, and then tries to coup de grace Edge through the table. He misses. Edge then hits. I think he hits the spear or something, and then Finn kicks out. But also what happens is Edge hits that like execution DDT thing like off the top of the ladder. He hits a DDT off the top of the ladder, and Finn kicks out of that as well. And so Edge wins the match by concerto in a grueler, an absolute grueler, a crazy match. A match that I was not excited about, but these guys delivered, man. They really did, and I'm not surprised they delivered. A really good match. I'd give it an A or 4 stars. Actually, no, I don't think I can give it A. I don't think I can give it 4 stars. I think I have to give it 3.5 stars because the storytelling was just bad. The match was really good. The match was really, really good, but nobody wanted to see this match. Like, the feud had gone on long enough. 3.5 stars for me, but it was an amazing match. Don't get me wrong. It was a really, really cool match. And they finally used Hell in a Cell right. So, good match, bad story, results in 3.5 stars, or B+, you know, B to B+ in there. And, yeah. I think it's main event time, boys. Alright, the main event of the evening. There's a lot to talk about with this match. So first of all, like we knew, these two put on a fantastic performance. Okay. They both showed out. They showed up and they showed out. Okay? But I have some gripes with this match. I think it would have been the best match of the weekend. Okay, and yes, I am including the Intercontinental title in that. I think this match would have outdone the Intercontinental Championship, but and I am struggling here because I don't know the wrestling business that well, as I've been saying throughout this entire video. Okay, so it's very well possible that this could be the better option, but in my opinion, in my very, very amateur opinion, you are never, well, I shouldn't say that, but it is unlikely that Cody is ever going to be at the height that he is. Okay? And so I've been seeing on Twitter and online that people saying, oh, they want to hit the 1,000-day mark. And yes, they do. It's undeniable they want to hit the 1,000-day mark, okay? I know they do, but that's just not an acceptable reason to have Roman carrying out this streak. And it would have been okay. It would have, truly it would have been okay. But Roman can never win on his own. So let's go through the match a little bit, okay? It starts slow. All long matches start slow. Well, not all long. Most long matches start very slow, okay? And so Roman and Cody feeling each other out. Cody kind of getting the upper hand a little bit. And then Solo interjects and Roman takes advantage. And it's whatever, you know, everyone knows that's going to happen. And that's totally fine. Then, to the delight of the crowd, and the crowd was going nuts for this match. Let me just say that. The crowd was going absolutely absurd for these two guys. Okay? And so, Roman, it looks like he's going to powerbomb Cody through the announce table. Cody reverses it into a back body drop through the other announce table. Good stuff for Cody, okay? Then they do these like spots where Cody hits crossroads, Roman kicks out. Then they do like Roman hits a Uranagi, Cody kicks out. Then Cody hits a pedigree, Roman kicks out. And then after that, like Cody does a figure 4 leg lock, which was pretty cool, and stuff like this, right? So they exchange super moves basically. Okay, and then the Usos come in, and Sami Zayn. And I know some people liked this. I was not one of them. I know a lot of people liked this, but I thought that finally, after this entire reign, Roman was just going to have a match where he just either win or lose on his own. Okay? And it doesn't have to be this big debate. Roman just wins the match, or he loses the match. Okay? I thought finally we were going to get a wrestling match. But no, the Usos come in. They double super kick Cody. Alright? Then they hit him with the 1D. But then Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens come in. And then they hit Roman with their finishers, a stunner and the haluva kick. And this too, I was still not okay with. I didn't want interferences in this match. And I get that it progresses the story and I get all that. But I just wanted this to be a straight up one-on-one match. Alright? And so then that doesn't happen, right? So Sami and Kevin come in, and Jay and Jimmy come in. They start battling it out, and they ultimately end up going to the, leaving. Okay? So then the match is kind of like at a standstill, both guys have taken big moves, or the finishing moves of both their opponents. And then how does this match end? Yeah, so then, how does this match end? How could I forget? Cody gets the upper hand. He hits Roman with 2 crossroads, and it looks like he's going to hit him with a 3rd. And then Solo Sikoa comes back. He comes back! And he hits Cody with the Samoan Spike. And off that, Roman hits the spear, and Roman retains the title. Okay, so Roman retains, and if it was just Roman retaining, like basically this happened. This is basically what happened. Alright, so if it was just Roman Reigns retaining his title, I wouldn't have been as mad as I am. But it was not just Roman Reigns retaining his title. It was the interferences, and it was Roman never wins on his own. And as the Universal Champion of almost 1,000 days, is that not important? To be able to win a match? And not without outside help? And yes, I'm exaggerating a little bit. I know he's had matches where he's just won, okay? I know that. But for WrestleMania, I think it was the time. And I think this is the big problem, is that now was the time for Cody's story. And some people made the argument that, you need, the protagonist needs to have adversity. Brother, like, I get that he's won all his matches, but by God, like, are you gonna really look this gift horse in the mouth? It's so rare that you get a, you know, the crowd to invest in somebody as much as they've invested in Cody. You know, like, the crowd was going insane for Cody, and they have been throughout his entire run. And I think when I realized that Cody should be the one to dethrone Reigns was when Sami Zayn happened at the Elimination Chamber. And Sami was the most over person in wrestling at that point. Right? The crowd was going, and it was Montreal too, so that helps him obviously. But the crowd was going bonkers for this man, right? And even still, and some people thought that, you know, if Roman won, Cody would be in trouble because the crowd would start to resent Cody because they would think it should be Sami. And Cody was able to take the fans' like sadness about Sami not winning and pull it to his benefit to be like, hey guys, don't worry, I'll be the one. You know, I know we want to see change here, I'll be the one to do it. And so I think that's when somebody can not manipulate the crowd, but when they can stay over as much as Cody was able to, that's when you know you have the guy. And so now, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Cody at SummerSlam? Because if it is, how do you know that he's going to keep the level of popularity that he has right now? You don't. You have no idea whether Cody's going to stay as over as he is. Okay? And that's a big problem, because if you just have Roman like fighting Cody again, well, we've already seen this. Okay, but then is it going to be Jay? Maybe. But is that going to be the same satisfaction, Jay winning, as what it would be if Cody won? Personally, I don't think so. Personally, I think the only other option you have now is to let Jay win. But I just think Cody's the better option. You know, I think Cody was the better story. I think him completing the cycle was more important. And I think in this case, to put it bluntly, WWE just got it wrong. And, you know, again, I'm not in the back. I don't know what's happening. And so I could have the wrong take. And I know there's some people who agree that it should have been Roman. But for me personally, I think it was the time for somebody to dethrone Roman. And I think that person would have been Cody. This match gets 4.5 stars. It was an incredible match, and it was an incredible weekend. Thank you guys for watching. Give the video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you are new. Comment as always. I've really been loving all and appreciating all the support you guys have been putting on this video, or sorry, on the channel recently. It really does mean a lot to me, so thank you guys so much for that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. It's Monday Night Raw, baby. So let's get at it.